Good day, brothers and sisters in Christ. I welcome you to our Sunday reflection for the 21st Sunday of Year E. The theme of our reflection is fashioning our identities in Christ. You are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church. Matthew chapter 16, verse 18. Identity is formed in relationship. No one knows this better than Inge Krauss. She doesn't know who she really is. She only knows that people call her by that name. She was just 4 years old in April 1945 when Russian troops attacked Königsberg, the capital of what was then East Prussia. Inge remembers a strong man lifting her up onto a small wagon filled with people as Soviet artillery shelled what she knew as home. She survived but was separated from her family and placed in an orphanage in Germany. She was grateful to have survived the war, yet she always struggled with an identity crisis. In 1997, Inge attended a gathering of war exiles from Königsberg, tearfully hoping someone might recognize her, but to no avail. Those who have been severed from their biological families remind us of an important truth. We can only discover our identity in relation to the significant people in our lives. Unfortunately, we waste a lot of time and energy trying to figure out our unique identity independent of other people. Our gospel reading challenges us to form our identity in relation to the most significant person in our lives, Jesus. In our gospel reading, we saw how Peter's identity evolved in his relationship with Jesus. His ability to see Jesus as the Messiah led to his acquiring a new identity. In the words of Jesus, "Simon, son of Jonah, you are a happy man. So now I say to you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church." Peter received a new identity, not through endless exploration, but by responding to God's revelation in Jesus. Using the key, the symbol of authority we encountered in our first reading, Jesus made him the leader of the Christian community. This text is the source of the Pope's authority in the church. Christian identity and the authority that flows from it are always grounded in relation to Jesus. Our gospel reading should not be reduced to the source of papal authority, as it is relevant to all of us. Like Peter, we received a new identity in baptism. There is a custom of taking a new name at baptism to signify this change of identity. Taking a name is significant, but more is needed. Do we have a Christian identity rooted in our relationship with Jesus? If Jesus were to ask today, "Who am I to you?" you may restate Peter's words, but he will likely challenge you, insisting that it is not what you think. You just heard this from others, priests, the sisters, catechists, your parents. He could push you further. But who am I to you personally? What influence do I have on your life? And what changes has your faith in me brought about? Being Christian depends on a relationship with Jesus. By relating to Jesus, we gain a new identity, as Peter did. And this gives us certain advantages, especially in facing existential anxiety, the scourge of our time. One source of existential anxiety is the feeling that we're alone in the world and must face our challenges with little or no resources. Our Christian identity makes us secure no matter what life throws at us. Like Peter, we become a rock that life cannot prevail against, despite our fickleness and contradictions. Henry Nouwen captures the fickleness of our identity, and I quote, "For as long as you can remember, you have been a pleaser, depending on others to give you an identity. You need not look at that only in a negative way. You wanted to give your heart to others. You did so quickly and easily. But now you are being asked to let go of all these self-made props and trust that God is enough for you. You must stop being a pleaser and reclaim your identity as a free self." End of quote. Despite our best efforts, we will remain fickle. Peter was among the ficklest people who ever walked this earth. However, he became a rock because of his relationship with Jesus. Our identity, sustained by our values, gives us an anchor for facing life's challenges. How do we cultivate a Christian identity? Brother Leo, St. Francis' secretary, once asked him which prayer he said every night. He replied that every night before going to bed, he says a simple prayer: "Who are you, my God, and who am I?" His answer to the first question determines his identity. There is so much blessing in possessing a Christian identity. We need to explore it daily. So this week I challenge you to do the following. Your choices shape your identity. Begin the practice of examination of conscience every night to evaluate your daily choices. Secondly, where is God inviting you to exercise your authority in the parish or your community? In other words, to serve. Invite the Lord to illuminate those places in prayer. Have a blessed week.